The super hubs at Stroud are about to get a whole lot busier as I extend the Eastern Main Line south from Abingdon. This is by far the largest single build project on the network, with a new passenger main line, 2 new freight lines, 3 new passenger stations and 5 huge goods yards all being constructed. The town of Alnwick up in the hills is about to go from a small community to a major stop on the main line. Likewise, Steyning is about to receive a magnificent viaduct leading into its very own station. And that's before the massive freight deliveries come, thanks to the new cargo hubs. One more big change is coming as the network enters the electric era, ready to push forward properly into the 20th century. Hey everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to From Steam to Electricity here on Transport Fever 2. Welcome back to Stroud. Welcome back to what is hopefully a successful money-making venture once more. Last time out we introduced this little food train here. Connecting, I'm trying to remember where this stops now. Goes from Stroud to Tamworth, Northallerton and Kirby Moorside before going up to Paynton, where it picks up more food, although I don't think... Oh no, there is some waiting. Not a huge amount, but there is some. And then brings that back down to Kirby Moorside, Northallerton and Tamworth. That's okay. For the most part, I think... Is it actually making me money right now? It is. Not much, but some. And that's cool. That will only get better, because we'll work on food supply and things like that. We have also got food here that goes across to Hawley. And then we have loads of food here waiting to come back. In fact, why? I feel like I need more ships. There we go. 1 every 4 minutes. 280. That gets brought over here. The trains, I think, can carry 144. So what was that? 280, I said. So yeah. One boat line, sorry, equals 2 trains, which I think is about right. I think we have, is it 4 trains on here? 3 trains on here. 16-minute frequency. Yeah, it all adds up. It all adds up. Off camera, though, I can't remember if I said I was going to look at other cargo lines, freight lines, but I did come up with one, and you can see it here. We have iron ore and coal being picked up here at Stroud, and this train, as you can see, is an absolute money printer. It is insane. So it picks up iron ore and coal here at Stroud, and it takes it non-stop all the way up to Stowmarket. And that's why it makes us so much money. Is this one of them? Nope, you're coming from Towcester. But again, it ties in nicely with this one because this actually brings some stuff up here for the other train to then take back, which is this one here. And yeah, it just prints money. I think it gets like 32 million in each direction, which is absolutely insane. There are ways that I could speed it up a little bit. Is this one of them? Yeah, this is one of them. I'm going to pin that up there so you guys can see how much money it makes. One of the bottlenecks is over here at Towcester. We don't have a bypass track here at Towcester, so all of the freight trains have to go through one of these tracks. Now, I think I can change that and make this work. I think I'd like to try and do that now if possible, and then we'll get on to the actual topic of today's episode. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, of course, but we'll try and make it work. Also, what you saw there is a little bit of a sneak peek at what's happening today. Yeah, if I can run that into one of these tracks, even there actually would work for the first part of this. There we are, and then somehow could I get... No, it doesn't want to play ball. Well, now that I know that that one works, could I in theory connect this up and then try and get the other side working? Can't go straight through because of that. That's really annoying, actually. What if I did a double slip? Would it work as a double slip? No. Okay. That one could be a double slip, though. Oh, I might have just solved this problem, actually. Hang on. If I was to snip that a second. Let's pause the game. Just for 1 second. There we go. Yeah, there. Okay. Pop that back in. This is only for one direction, by the way. I still need to do it for the other direction. So that's going to be a fun game to play as well. Let's do it to here. And then I guess this side. Yeah, if you could just sneak in. What's the biggest I can get at? 36. That's not too bad. They don't have to go rapidly fast through here. That's not what we're about. But yeah, I can now put a one-way signal on this one. Like so. And that is now connected to both the flyover. Not very well, mind. You have to do double slips and stuff. But it connects to the flyover and it also connects to the main line here. Now on this side, this one, sorry, to speak English for a second, I hope will be a lot easier to connect up. So first of all, we can do this. We can do this, which actually, 29 is not the end of the world. And then on this side, we can do this. Excuse me. I've still got the cough. I'm very grateful, by the way, to everyone who did wish me well. In 2 episodes ago now, because Jesus Christ, I can't speak. The last episode hasn't gone out yet at the time of recording this one, so everyone who wished me well in the episode before that, so 2 weeks ago at the time of you watching this, thank you. I appreciate it. There used to be a time where I would say I was ill, and no one would say a thing. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone who's actually wished me well. It's much appreciated. I am just going to quickly see if I can do this. There we go. Where I was going with that, by the way, is yes, unfortunately I still have the cough. I'm hoping it will bugger off at some point, but yeah. Well, I can try and force it, I suppose, but it is what it is. I'm fine for the most part. It's just the cough that won't go away. Right. Does that now go through? Yep, it goes through the bypass tracks. Look at that. Beautiful. It also does a weird thing over here where I use the main line here. Purely because Uckfield doesn't have a bypass track. So Uckfield needs a bit of a rebuild in order to make that work. But the trains, in fact you can see one here, can access the main line just after Uckfield station. So I just decided to keep with that. And it goes down to 2 tracks here anyway, so there's a little bit of a choke point no matter what happens. And then it goes back into the 4, in which case it uses the slow lines and there's no stations to hold things up. So maybe Uckfield doesn't need a bypass track. Maybe it technically already has one. How far away are you from Stowmarket? You're right there. Okay. Wait, where are you going? Oh, damn. Right, hang on. You are in completely the wrong place. No idea what happened there. Yeah, you're supposed to be going into the goods yard. I guess I changed your... Oh no, you're saying Stroud now. Don't go to Stroud. No, don't go to Stroud. I'll fix this. We can't lose this money. We need the money that these trains bring in for what we're planning on doing today. I was worried today was going to be a short episode, but I seem to have found a way to actually extend it out to the time that it needs to be. I don't mean to. Just to be clear. That seems to be an accident. I don't actually know why I had a signal here, because there's one just there, so it's not too far to travel. It's a good thing I caught that, by the way, because that would have gone around the entire loop and the cross-country line and back through Towcester before it would have dropped off, at which point it would have made me no money. And I would have been very angry. Our passenger trains are looking very old right now. Very dishevelled. Alright, can I do that now? Are you going to behave? Just need you to stop in this platform. You're not going to, are you? Nope. What pain. What a pain. This is Stowmarket. Yeah, Stowmarket Goods Yard. I'm going to let it run out onto the line here, and then I'm going to turn it around again, and hopefully this time it will stop. Fingers crossed. I wanted to show you how much money it made, but while we're waiting for it to sort itself out, I'm just going to let it clear the junction, and then I'm going to flip it round again, and hopefully this time it will actually stop. Yeah, you're set to stop. All good. You're just being a pain. The line itself, though, is actually operating at a loss right now. Well, that's annoying. I was about to say it is making me a lot of money, but I guess I need one of these trains to actually pull in. There we go. Now you're coming across to where you should be. We should see it slow down and stop. I hope. Come on, train, play ball. 23 miles an hour. 24, 25, 26. You're not slowing down, are you? No, you are slowing down. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. And stop. And there's the money. So what was that? 32.1 million. Went out to 28.9 million here. Profit. Mwah! Chef's kiss. It's very nice to see. And actually here's a double whammy because there's a toaster train coming in as well. Very, very nice. There was a problem I had with this though, which was I had all this set up and I had the train coming up here and it was making me loads of money. But coming back, it wasn't making me any money. It wasn't loading. And I was like, what's going on? What's the problem? And it turned out, and this is something that I see a lot of players struggle with, and it's good to know. If anyone out there is new to the game and needs some reassurance, we still make these mistakes too. Over here, I was rejigging some stuff. I was making this bigger because we needed to get more lines in. We've now got 2 coal lines that come through here. One from the harbour and the one from the coal mine. And the one from the harbour shuttles coal back and forth. So from here, we can go down to the station here, and then the coal that gets dropped off here can be brought back up. That's what it does. When I was rejigging all this, I removed this road, thinking that this would still connect, and it didn't. So this wasn't actually connected. So none of my mineral lines around here were actually working correctly. Because of that, I lost a ton of money. So yeah, noob mistake, rookie mistake. It's good to know still though that we do still make those kinds of mistakes. I've been playing this game since release, and I still make that mistake. So any new players out there, don't feel disheartened. Happens to the best of us. Today, we are connecting Stroud up to Abingdon on the east main line here. Abingdon itself is actually very, very popular right now, so I don't want to upset the apple cart too much. But at the same time, I do want to get the main line in down here and connect it up to Alnwick, Steyning, Wallsend, and so on. Now, I had a really good idea off camera that I was going to implement today, but I've just seen something and it's made me reconsider. So what I was going to do was, from Stroud, I was going to come hard left around here onto this hillside, like was always the plan. I was then going to come along the hillside and have Steyning station in this area here. Reason being is from this area here, I can actually get through the hill here. It's not that big, so we'll have a tunnel, but it's not too bad. Although, now I'm saying that, I do actually want to check this. So from here, yeah, no, it would actually work. Through a tunnel, across where this road used to be. We'll have to do some rejigging. Maybe have it come through where this horizontal piece is. Follow the road around, tunnel under this mountain, up to Alnwick. And again, I just want to check that this is in fact doable. Yep, it's doable. Have Alnwick station right on the cusp of town. Basically where it is now. From then, come round here, swoop around this way, and then round onto this hillside, or we follow this along and go round in front of the sawmill here, and then stick to this hillside, and then Abingdon's new station will sit in this area here. We'll then take over the alignment across these bridges. We'll quad track it, because right now it's only 2 tracks. We'll also make it a little bit smoother, because right now I think this gradient especially is a little bit steep. So we'll smooth it out a little bit more. And then down here at Woodstock, this will become 4 tracks, the whole way up to Abingdon. As for Abingdon's current station, it will remain. I have plans for it. But around here we'll have a grade separated junction that connects it up to the main line. So we'll have the outline tunnel down and underneath, or go under a bridge or something, and then back up over this road, and it will join on to the slow line heading down towards Woodstock. That is the plan. However, I remembered that we said we were going to connect up to Wallsend, which means we would have to have a station down here. There's also the fact that freight is going to use this as well, thanks to... oh, actually this bridge. And we wouldn't be able to get to Steyning, so I think the freight line here is actually going to come this way and connect up to the main line around here somewhere. And then the passenger line is going to be the one that goes up through this area up to Alnwick. But there may also be a junction here that brings this around. Because I do want a freight line from Stroud that also heads south. So I think that one will branch off, run this way through Steyning Station, because there is going to be freight and passenger at Steyning, and then down through Shoreham, and then I guess we'll have a passenger line that branches off through Shoreham as well, and down through Lee. Can you get to Lee? Is that Lee or is that Leaf? I think it's Lee, right? The Shoreham one might have to come out to Uxbridge and then around to Castleford and beyond. I also think this line here through Stroud, the through tracks, these bridges here, will come down this way and end up at Longtown. Just looking at that. And then we're starting to get close to our other place here at Spennymoor. Spennymoor is definitely going to be a terminus of one of the main lines. It's probably going to be the eastern one, and it's probably going to be the one that comes down through Shoreham and Uxbridge and things like that. The other one, maybe we have it come this way across, go past St Justin Penwith, Newcastle under Lyme, under to Higham Ferrers, and down to, I don't know, Torquay maybe? I don't know. That's a long way in the future. That is a long way in the future. I think I need to start building. I'm going to start building stations first, and then we're going to connect them up through the power of time-lapse. So let's remove this road. And the first thing I'm going to do is put in a passenger station. I'm going to say none for that, and no overhead. How long do I want it? I think the next size up. The freight terminals, by the way, over here at Stroud, I thought these were really long. Those iron ore coal trains, they are 305 meters, I think. And you can see the train only just fits in. And actually, in these platforms, it really does only just fit in. So I think 320 meters is the longest our trains can be, which is a bit of a shame, because I'm not rebuilding that station. I refuse categorically to rebuild that station. That was the bane of my existence, trying to get that in. The fact that I had to split it into two as well was a massive pain. Where's this coming from? It's coming around this way, isn't it? Because I did look at going through here, and I think this is too much of an ask. Although that's a really nice alignment. Let me just try something. I was to do this, and then come through here. Turn that off. Oh, damn. Maybe that's what we do then. Tunnel through here. And then obviously that won't connect to that now because it's too tight. But I think we can get a good swing round here. If I was to come up like this. Although we haven't got the speed. Yeah, we haven't got the speed. So never mind. Because this is going to be the proper main line. 125 mile per hour running on the fast lines and 75 on the slow. So if we can't even get to 75, then there's no point, is there? Alright. So we're going to be coming in from this side. So really we need the station to actually be sat around here. And again, look at the embankment and cutting that we're going to end up digging in order to make this work. I think around this area. Like so. And I'm hoping... Actually, that's not too bad. I'm hoping here then we can get a nice run along here and then swing round. Because at the point where we reach this bridge, we probably will be slowing down a little bit because we are approaching Stroud at that point. Right, tracks. I need the 124s. Like so. And I need the 75s. And then, of course, platforms. One of these on each end. These in the middle. Like so. And then for miscellaneous. Oh, yeah, that's something else I wanted to point out. Someone was very helpful in the comments. Again, 2 episodes ago now. But I'm very appreciative nonetheless. Pop a bridge in. Because, I mean, we could do an underpass, but we'll go with a bridge. Over here at the harbour, I was like, how do I get another connection in? A street connection. You go configure, and you go miscellaneous, and you go pedestrian entrance. And I'm an idiot. Because I completely forgot that existed. There you go. So now that links up to the road, and passengers can walk this way instead of having to walk all the way down here. Not that we have any passengers running here yet, so that's a thing. But, yeah. All done. Thank you very much to that person. I can't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. I could look it up, actually. Let me look it up, because it was a very helpful comment. I think it was on YouTube. It might have been on Reddit. Community comments. Oh, God. They make it a lot harder now to actually find... Tommy C86, it was. Very good. On the port, to add a road connection, just go to miscellaneous, and a pedestrian entrance, the grey square with a white arrow pointing to it. That was very, very helpful indeed. Because now I don't have to worry when I'm doing my ports anymore. I can still find a way to connect it all up. Right. What was I doing? Oh, yes. So from here, the main line is going to curve around like so. So what I'm going to do first, I need to get it to full speed, which I think is this. And we're going to keep it flat. We could actually do all of this as a single curve. All the way around like this. And make this a massive viaduct. And I'm actually very tempted to do that. Because I think that would look very pretty indeed. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. And then from here... Actually, I'm going to cut this back a little bit. Maybe here. Because then from here, this will be... embankment. And then this will be... it's sloping down a little bit here, which I don't really want it to do. Because we need to connect that up. But, yeah, you get the idea as to how that side's going to look. This side, have we got a weird diamond shape going on there? Here we have. I think it's just because of the platforms. But, yeah, this side, it's going to follow the hill. We might go through the hill a little bit here just to get the swing that we need to connect up over here. I'm pretty happy with that, too. As for the freight station over here, well, that, of course, is going to be... I'm just looking to see if we brought the freight tracks around this way, then, I mean, the freight terminal could be down here, and then from here it will come out and around. Because we do need a freight terminus here as well, of course. So let's see if I get this one. 6 maybe? Length at least 360, let's say. The track type we want I want the bullhead. I want the 75 mile per hour one, which I guess is going to be, yeah, there is no overhead. We will have gaps between each like that, so we could do the through tracks. And we want, whoops, we don't want that. We want it on a curve. How feasible is this? I'd say quite. If I pop it over here somewhere. Let me see. I kind of need it. Maybe if I bring it a little closer this way. Because technically, which way am I curving this? Because I need it to connect up over there. So I almost need it to do this. I think that is actually a better way of doing it. And then we need to lift it up a smidge. I think something like this. Yeah. And then the center tracks, the through tracks, sorry, are going to join up with the center tracks, and they should come through here. And then from here, we should be able to curve round and possibly go through this gap. If not, then we can carry on climbing up this way and then go around the hill to Shoreham. That's probably going to be the smart way, actually, because then we can have a little branch down at Uxbridge as well. So that's actually not a bad idea. Let's cut all this back, because I think that's going to be the goal there. Right, Steyning done. Steyning cargo done. I'm going to call this Steyning goods yard. Like so. Parkways weren't a thing yet, or park and ride, so we're not going to rename Steyning station. But hopefully, yeah, this will work. I don't want to rush things and mess this up. That's the problem. So I do want to make sure I get most of this right. I do want to connect the station up over here now. We're going to do the same thing with the railway station. These are just going to be for stopping services. The next main express station, I think, is actually going to be Woodstock before the tunnel. Where's a good place to pop this? Bearing in mind, we are coming out of a tunnel sort of around this area, and we're going to be running parallel-ish to this road. So I think having a sharp curve into the station is not the best idea. So I think if I was just to build this out like so, we'll redo this connection like so, and the station here we're going to build like so. Question is that going to result in a level crossing? I'd rather not have a level crossing. Maybe if I bring the station back a bit, but then it sort of defeats the point. Let's bring this down this way a little bit more. And then curve this in like so. Now if I was to build this around here-ish, like this, we might be able to get the main road up and over the railway. And I think that is better. I think that'll work out a lot nicer. Right. Same track configuration. And like this. This one I think I will have an underpass rather than a bridge. I think it will look cooler. Miscellaneous, and we want you there, and you there, and you there. Lovely. That is Alnwick station. Now for the goods station here, that line's going to come up this way too. So actually the cargo terminal needs to be attached to this. So maybe for that reason, I know I've literally just built this. I'm actually going to undo this a little bit. Like so. So we are technically now having the fast track here served by a platform. But it's never going to be. I don't think it will anyway. Maybe one day. But not right now. Not a priority. That, and then this along here like so. Right, now for the cargo side of things, I'm working off the assumption that we're going to have a separate tunnel for I genuinely cannot speak. We're going to have 3 tunnel portals, one for the down lines, one for the up lines, and one for the freight lines. And the freight line one is going to probably curve away a lot quicker because it needs to descend very, very quickly because it has to connect up to that over there. So I think first of all the cargo station is actually going to extend this way. Like so. Now we're going to have cargo platform. But only 5, 6, 7, 8. Only here for now. That's just for future extensions. At which point we can't really use Stroud anyway, but whatever. Okay, then we're going to have a through track. And then we're going to have another platform. I'm hoping this fits. That we have the space. Oh, we don't have the money. Never mind the space. Just need one of my mineral trains to stop again. Hopefully, now that I've got money coming in again, I will never have to add money manually. Because I did not enjoy that. I don't like doing that. I'm honest with you about it, at least. But I still don't like doing that. It's not how I like to play the game. I want to earn the money for real, you know. But I also didn't want the series to end. So it was means to an end. And there we go. I'm also going to try not to pause the game as much when I'm building. Because I think it is fun to watch it all play out. I completely forgot what I was talking about just now as well. Sorry about that. I do that a lot. Again, if you're new to the channel, if you found me recently, you're probably wondering who is this blithering idiot who can't talk and build at the same time. But if you've been around for a while, oh, you know. You battle-hardened lot. You know that I can't build and talk at the same time. Because I'm too busy focusing on what I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing next. And also coming up with ideas for future episodes and stuff while I'm doing all this. I just forget what I'm talking about. Damn, I need a mineral train again. I think that's what I was saying, actually. I just need mineral trains to arrive, and that gives me the money I need to build. And that hopefully I never need to use money cheats ever again. I should also say at this point, this episode is a last in sort of. Don't panic, it's not the end of the series. That will continue. You guys seem to want it to stick around, and viewership has, in terms of the peak and the trough, it seems to be peaking again at the moment, so I'm very happy about that. But this is an end in some ways, because today I'm actually going to be electrifying some of the main lines, and because of that, the series will be entering the proper electric age, and therefore we will be saying goodbye to steam in some cases. So exciting in that regard, and also a little bit saddening in that regard as well. But I think it's for the best. Hopefully you guys will agree. Alnwick is connected. We can actually get a lumber train up here as well, which would be very nice. Maybe that's one of the ones we'll bring up today. Next up, Abingdon. And I said Abingdon was going to sit sort of on this hillside, didn't I? Although, yeah, I guess that works. Having Abingdon's main station and then the bus route, or the tram route, I think it actually is, will get redirected to run past the railway station. I think that is a neat idea. So I think for this, how high are you? I think you're actually a good height to get across the road here. You seem to be. I'm just looking at the height compared to the other station. You're a little bit higher. So I think that actually is fine. And also, there is a tram stop here. So I think if I brought these roads out, maybe that would connect up instead. And then I wouldn't have to redo the tram route. Which I think, again, is probably for the best. Ooh. Right, I am not going to mess around here with cargo platforms. This is a passenger-only station. Reason being, I think the cargo will be down closer to the river because there's a harbour here. So I think we'll want to connect to that. Let's do this. We'll do an underpass. Actually, do I want an underpass? No, I want a bridge. I think if I do that, there we go. There we go. Put the roof back in first. And then we'll put the bridge in. Like so. Lovely. Upper Abingdon. I think Abingdon West is probably a better name. Abingdon West. I am just going to check before committing to this build. And not that there's much I can do if this doesn't work, of course. But if I was to do... Well, hey, that's not what I wanted. This. Make it flat. Like so. And then this one. Make it flat like so. Now here, if I bring you down like this. Yeah, we'll do this. And then we'll do this. Actually, I'm going to connect it to... Well, hey. I'm going to connect it to this. Really? Alright, we are going to connect it there then. Like that. And then this one is going to connect in like so. And then this one is going to connect in like so. But with no tunnel. We're going to make it a cutting. If I select you now. Yeah, you do connect. Well, that's perfect then. I'm happy with that. Nice. And then from here, these tracks will go out and connect up just before that bridge, I hope. So we might swing to the right slightly and then bring it round so that the trains don't have to slow down too much. Because I think this is max speed all the way along here. And then as for Abingdon Cargo Station. Yeah, I think having it down here by the fuel refinery isn't the worst idea. And I believe... Let me check this. Do it like this. I think if I did it... I need a street connection. If I did it like this, could you actually connect to the harbour? Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. In that case, I'm going to remove some of the curve. And I'm going to have you connect in... Actually, I might remove all of the curve and have you connect in like this, because then you definitely work. Okay. And then from here, yeah, you can see where the passenger lines are. You can see where the freight lines are. So there's a bit of a climb happening here as well to get up and around. But I think that is perfectly doable. I think that is perfectly doable. The road here is going to get rerouted across, which hopefully won't slow things down too much. And it will keep the connection here so that we can still connect up to the port. But just having this train port connection again, even though we've got one down here at Stroud, it's just a valuable thing to have. I also didn't build... see, yeah, because look, we're coming up here to Alnwick. And I think I do want one down here at Wallsend too. How the heck am I going to do that? That's going to be a tricky thing. Because I kind of want a passenger station down here at Wallsend as well. Yeah. How am I going to do that? How long's this episode been? 37 minutes. Okay. I feel like I need to get a move on. Right. I am going to build another little station down here. Connect it to this road. We'll see if this makes any kind of sense. So the first thing I'm going to do is build a passenger station. You're going to sit right there. Nice. We're then going to put another track on this side. I think, by the way, when I've been doing this, these tracks aren't the same. No, they're very obviously not the same. Am I bothered about that? No, not particularly. I think it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. We're going to do something like this. I'm then going to put... I'm not going to put a roof on the island platform, I don't think. And I'm saying island platform specifically. But I'm going to put a bridge across them like so. I'm then going to come back here and I'm going to place another track like this. Services can terminate here. I think that's a good idea. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will do one either side as well, just to make sure. You are then going to have a cargo platform. I don't need one on the end, actually. That's just for extension purposes, and I always do that. I always add one, then I'm like, oh no, I didn't need to do that. Right. And I think... Well, again, I'm saying that. I'm saying I think a lot. Sorry. Apparently I don't think. But I reckon... or I was going to... Gee whiz. So sorry, guys. I was going to reckon that this wouldn't have bypass trains. But actually going up the hill to then come all the way back down again is quite tedious. So I think this will have the fast trains going through it, if you can call freight trains fast. It will have the freight trains going through it. Therefore, this will need through tracks. And we'll treat this like the other bypass coming out of Stroud. The bypass line that goes up through the hills. Which, funny enough, is the one that it requires a lot of climbing. My mineral train actually uses that line. And it works quite well, actually. It doesn't take that long to get from Tewkesbury to Stroud via that line. So I'd say that worked out quite nicely, actually. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last track in here. Now there is one more thing that I need to do before I can commit to starting to build tracks and stuff like that. Now you guys, fortunately, I suppose in your case, don't need to worry too much about that. I will go and do it off camera. I also need to figure out where my cargo buildings are going to go here. So I was going to put them this side, of course, but I can't unless I add another platform. That may well be the case. Once we connect up at Abingdon, Woodstock doesn't have a freight terminal attached to it. Neither does Wisbech. Neither does... actually, no, Hay does. Never mind. Ignore that. Hay does. But Wisbech doesn't and Woodstock doesn't. So I need to go away very quickly. Actually, I think I'm going to rebuild Hay slightly as well, having looked at this, to add bypass tracks. But primarily, I'm going to add a freight terminal down here at Wisbech, and then somehow connect the lines up to the two sets that go through the tunnel here, because we are going to share tracks through the tunnel. I think that's only fair. And then on this side, branch the freight tracks off again somewhere. I wish I knew where. We've talked about this before. I think if I keep it level, tunnel underneath the main line here, and then Woodstock's freight terminus would be around here somewhere. And then from here, we can get across to Abingdon, no problem. That actually works out very nicely. I don't know if we can connect up to the port here, though, and maybe that would have been the better option. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go do those quickly, and then you get to watch me connect all this up, hopefully. Back in a mo. Alright, we're at Woodstock. We have done it. I have done it. I guess you helped out somehow. You know that thing in theme parks where you go on the ride, you're basically passive, excuse me, the entire time through. And at the end, the main character of the ride is like, we did it! We beat the bad guy! And I'm sat there like, did I? I didn't do anything. I just watched. That's kind of how it feels sometimes. Like, obviously, you guys make suggestions that helps me build these incredible things. But every time I'm like, we did it, guys, I'm like, I think actually I did most of it. But yeah, to make myself sound like less of an arse, we did it. We have completed the freight terminals here. So this is Woodstock's goods yard. I will rename it accordingly. This is actually the second one I built, and the hardest to connect, as it turns out. But yeah, from here, the two lines, they converge, they go into a tunnel. This tunnel is only for a short period of time, though. I think you can just about see in there where it actually splits, because around here-ish, this tunnel splits in two. Half goes this way, joins up with the slow line coming out of the tunnel here. The other half goes this way and joins up with the slow line going into the tunnel here. I think that looks pretty neat. Tunnel is untouched. I haven't done anything to that. But over here we have a similar thing. This line branches off. We'll follow that in a second. This one converges. And we'll follow that one now. Because this one goes down into a tunnel. Although it doesn't actually need to, I don't think. It could pass under this line via a bridge. But it goes into a tunnel. And again, the two lines converge just there. And then they pop out into Wisbech goods yard. Let me rename that. So from Wisbech, we now actually have a clear run down to Hale. I haven't touched Hale. I might do that during the time lapse, although I'll connect the lines up first and then do that, just so you guys don't have to see all of that. Mainly because, yeah, we are going to have trains coming through, even Knutsford, although Knutsford is an ultimate station, so I might not be bothered with that one. In fact, in that case, I might as well not bother with Hale. We are going to have trains coming through both of these, though. So it will make sense to connect them up accordingly. What was I guys, what is wrong with me today? We'll have one through line in each direction. That's what I'm trying to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the stations are long enough, so that's fine. But yeah, we are ready. I need to find a way to get this freight line round here and over to Wisbech. That's one problem that needs to be solved. I think here it can just run parallel to the track and then branch down there. That's fine. Here I think it'll have to go its own way around here, although it would be incredibly helpful. Actually, I think it can attach there, in which case that will help us get over this road as well. But then we'll have to do a sharp curve, which I'm fine with. That's something that can be done, and then a level crossing somewhere around here. But it just helps us cross some of these other roads, which are a bit of a pain. Yeah. Alrighty then, folks. Yeah, we're ready. The music might have started playing by now. If it hasn't, it will start playing in the next few seconds, I'm sure. And it's time to connect these up. So I'm going to do the passenger lines first and make sure they're all working. And then we're going to get the goods lines connected up and get them all working. So I will see you guys on the other side. And just like that, we are connected. To be honest, there's a lot in that time lapse that is probably going to get cut, so you're not going to see it anyway. And there's a lot that I've done that I didn't record at all, because I thought it was going to take me ages, and sure enough, it did. I've been at this for like an hour and a half now, maybe even 2 hours, just building all the tracks, getting everything connected up, hopefully getting it all working, and getting it in a position where I'm actually happy with it, because as always with these things, it might take a go or two to get it exactly how you envisage it, and to make it not look naff. So let's follow the main line here out of Stroud all the way up to Abingdon, and then we'll pick up the freight line at Hale, and I'll show you everything that I've done with that as well, because I think the freight is going to be the subject of next week's video. So coming out of Stroud, you get to the bridge here. This is all as it was before up to this point. From here we have a 4-track main line. It does occasionally split into 2 lots of 2 to go through some of these tunnels, which I like actually. There's a little bit of Z fighting going on. I maybe could have put them a little bit further apart. And I don't like this as well, the fact that you can see through the sides. But other than that, this is great. I love these tunnel portals. They look really, really cool. So we have the little separation there. It comes back together again. It then comes into Steyning. Now, I already have a bus line running between Steyning Town and Steyning Station. That will get beefed up in the future. Right now, yeah, we do actually have some people using it, which is nice. Heading to the steel mill down here. That's cool. Eventually, we'll have a central bus station here, and we'll connect up some of the other industries as well. But right now, this is fine. Leaving Steyning, we cross over this big viaduct here, which eventually is going to have the freight lines here coming underneath. I think at that point, I will have to rebuild some of this just to get the arches looking good again. I can't actually remember what this line's supposed to curve around this way, isn't it? And then go up and around to either Shoreham or Uxbridge. I can't remember which one now. It doesn't matter. On the other side of the viaduct, we then go through a cutting through the hill here. We're climbing basically the entire way up here as well. It's a very steep climb. This, I love, the fact that we've got this huge viaduct that you can't really see because of the trees. It's just this little area here where it breaks away and you can actually see it and how high up it is and things like that. Might as well have a road come through here if we've got this opportunity. Connect that road up there to that road down here. And actually that might replace what was over here. So that's not a bad idea at all. I might quickly do that actually, just while I'm talking to you all. Otherwise I will forget. So we'll build that through like this. And then over here, you will come up. We'll do it like that. I know there's a gap in the trees there, but we'll do it like that. Whoops. Over here, I need to get it back sort of into that gap. That'll do. And then around and connect it. What I'm going to do here actually is remove this section and have you be the main road. Like so, and then have this one spur onto it like that. Yep, happy. Good. That's one less thing to worry about. For the most part, everything is connected up and working. There might be a couple of areas where things are a little bit lacking, but yeah. At this point here then, the tracks... Oh, not a fan of that. I think that's just where these tracks split though. I'll see if I can fix that, because that's annoying. But yeah, tracks split into 2 pairs again to go through this tunnel, and this takes us into Alnwick. And I really like Alnwick Station here with the freight side of it as well. This looks really cool. I'm very, very happy with this one. Again, we'll follow that freight line in just a second because we'll carry on with this. Again, Alnwick has a bus line that I've now got up and running. I don't think this one's actually used by anyone right now, or mainly because I've just noticed as well, I could actually, if I did this and this and this, I could actually extend it out that way. So we'll get rid of, or we'll replace in a second, number 3. Windsor Road. There we go. Yeah, I think that is a more viable option. Why is King Street being funny again? There we go. yeah, I think that is a more viable option. And again, we can have more routes come through here in the future. This is just to get things kick-started. So yeah, the machines factory now has people. Good. We could bring people up to the farm here. We could take people over to the sawmill. People have asked me about this. It's a mod. I can't remember what the mod's called, but it means that you can transport people to and from industries, and they treat them as workplaces. If anyone remembers what that is, by all means, comment down below. Help out some other people as well. Out of Alnwick then, heading north, the track becomes 6 tracks because of the freight. But again, we'll cover that more in just a bit. There's a lot of smoke coming out of here, considering this is just a forest. Ooh. 6 tracks, 6 tracks, 6 track. When we get to this sawmill, it branches off again. 4 tracks, which we'll follow in just a second, go that way. The freight tracks, which we'll follow in a minute, go that way. The passenger tracks then come onto this lovely looking viaduct, which again, I'm a huge fan of. I did want this to be an embankment, but it's so far out from the main hill. I hadn't realised just how much it cut in here. So we got a nice viaduct here. They were a very rich railway company, the Eastern Railway. They had a lot of money for big viaducts and things. Although saying that, the Western out of Towcester has the big viaducts over by Blackburn as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Into Abingdon West, which is connected up to Church Lane over here. I'll show you. There you go. So people can walk between the two. I'm not a fan of this hill, mind, considering this is supposed to be for trams. So what I might do in the future is rebuild these roads and actually have the tram stop right outside the station here. But we'll see. That's it really for Abingdon. Coming out of Abingdon, we then cross over this girder bridge around this corner here, and you can maybe sort of kind of see where the railway used to go. This obviously used to go straight out and it connected up over here somewhere, whereas now the 4 tracks take over and come through. You'll also notice, as well as having this this dive under here that then climbs around and up, and also having this line diverge and come down, we've got some electrified track. More on that in just a second as well. And then of course line continues as normal down to Woodstock. On to the freight side of things then. So down at Hale, where things were set up anyway, the tracks leave this way. We'll head south in this direction now. We cross over this road, and then we join up with the Eastern line here as well, and it becomes a 6-tracker for a little bit. The reason I did that, I think I mentioned this earlier. If not, I said it to myself out loud, and that's why I think I said it. The corridor here was a lot better than trying to snake it round by the river. So I just had the 6 tracks here, which I think worked really, really well. When we get to Wisbech, then the tracks here diverge, head into the goods yard, which isn't actually connected up to anything yet, nor is it fully signalled. That's an oopsie on my part. Let me just fix that. Like so, not one way. For this one, or 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 this one, but it is for this one. There we go. So yeah, again, we got the through tracks here. These are all 6-track stations, and then these 2 tracks here, the 3rd and the 6th, I guess, out of the 8 in total. They are through tracks, and they're the ones that are mainly connected up over here. So, yeah, Wisbech, all connected up here now, and then dives under, joins up with the main line to go through the tunnels. On the other side, it does what it did earlier, branches off, heads into Woodstock, which is still connected up to the harbour, so that's good. Out of Woodstock, it basically just runs alongside the river, nothing too special. We go past Abingdon, and then we get to Abingdon Goods Yard. Now here, things split. For a second there, I thought I'd forgotten to signal it again, but no, I have. There are 2 tracks that head that way. They go up to Alnwick. There are 2 tracks that head that way. They head to Wallsend. I so nearly got through a sentence without cocking it up then. That would have been great, wouldn't it? Up here at Alnwick, you saw what happens. It runs alongside the main line into Alnwick, and then from Alnwick it branches off this way, slopes down, slopes down, slopes down, rejoins up with the other track, and heads in towards Stroud. The other line follows the river still. That's basically all it does. Just follows the river over here into Wallsend Goods Yard. Now, this one I've swapped it round from how it was built earlier. But even now, I'm like, I kind of want to move it again. The reason I want to move it again is I want to take the passenger station and put it on this side of the river, because I had an idea that I wanted to run by you guys. Middlewich right now is the terminus, Middlewich North. What if I rebuilt Middlewich North over here, had it as a through station, the tracks continue into Newhaven, or we replace North and South with a single station over here, and then have the tracks, one side go off that way towards Shepshead, the other side come this way round to Newhaven, and then from Newhaven come back down to the river into a Wallsend station, and then from Wallsend join up with this main line heading into Stroud. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you think of all of those ideas down in the comments. If it stays where it is, then it's going to head up this way, somehow get over this freight line, and it's going to join up around here so that it can run into Steyning. That's a feasible thing. Just off the bridge here, I can have a line that diverges off, and then obviously have another one that joins up here, and somehow get it under or over. Over seems like a good idea, because we can utilize the landscape here. So long as the land on this side isn't too far up. But then here we can sort of snake it down and around anyway. So it's not the end of the world. And then just have a 4-track line into Wallsend here. This side, though, I was a little bit stuck because we can't get to Abingdon. So if we skip Abingdon, then it's a really long way down to Woodstock. So that's where I started thinking maybe here we cross the river and go over to Newhaven. That's a very doable thing as well. Very much a doable thing. But yeah, let me know what you think of all of those ideas. And obviously, we'll go with the best one that people enjoy. that's the best way to do it, I'd say. For now, though, we have to do a little bit of rerouting, because we don't want this express service anymore to run to Abingdon. We want it to run to Stroud. So what I'm going to do instead of having it go to Abingdon is I'm going to remove Abingdon. And we're going to add, well, Woodstock. The next stop is Stroud. So we're just going to come down here and connect it in. Like so. I was hoping it would do it first time, and it seems to have. So that's good. We want you to come in on track 8 with track 7 as the backup. I'm hoping. Yeah, you're on the right tracks there. You even used the crossover here correctly. So that's very nice to see. Yeah, I'm very happy actually. That's gone very, very well. So I have Woodstock. Your next stop is Stroud. So we're now going to rename you. So you are Cockerhead to Stroud via Haltwhistle, I guess. Cockerhead to Stroud via Haltwhistle. I'm then going to grab the other line quickly. This one. You are Cockerhead to Stroud via Towcester. Technically, it does stop at other places along the way. For example, actually, I'm thinking about this. Maybe the express here now skips Wisbech and just runs straight through and stops at Woodstock. But then maybe we skip. Actually, no, because we don't stop at Abingdon anymore, do we? No. So yeah, I'm going to take out Wisbech as well. So yeah, Haltwhistle, Woodstock. So as I was going to say, it does stop at other places along the way. But Haltwhistle and Towcester are the two sides of the cross-country line. So that's where the Telltale comes in. But yeah. Why is the line electrified? Let's talk about that. I've electrified the line all the way from Abingdon up here to Cockerhead. And in fact, I'm actually going to go a little bit further than Cockerhead because I need to get a depot in as well. So we're actually going to take this out all the way up to Scunthorpe. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to electrify that little bit there. That little bit there. That little bit there. Technically all of this as well. But then just the slow lines again. There we are. And we're going to take this all the way up. And this is just for empty stock movements. Buying new trains, things like that. Just to make my life a little bit easier. We're actually going to implement a brand new service right now from Cockerhead to Abingdon, stopping at pretty much every station along the way. Where's the depot? The depot is here. So I am going to electrify all of this. Not that bit. Actually, yeah. No, that bit too. Not that bit. Then I need to be clever here. So you're going to come across. You are going to come across. And then that bit, and that bit. Have I done this wrong? Already I'm thinking I've done this wrong. Technically, yes, I have done this wrong. Maybe I will just electrify all 4 tracks here. It's kind of a precursor for what's going to end up happening in the future. So yeah, I think I am just going to do all 4 tracks. Because I need to get to this one here, where this train is coming. Like that, and hopefully... let's de-electrify all this bit. Hopefully I haven't missed any parts, because that would be annoying if I go to start all this up and it comes up with error messages. Let's do that, and then just for now, let's just have this come down. I was gonna say, how the heck do I do that bit? Just have this come down like this. You can just stop here for now. We'll do that a little bit there, a little bit there. I'm not a huge fan of all of these little stubs of track here that need doing as well. But it is what it is. Oh, come on, game. Ooh, I had it then. There it is. Technically, both sides of this need doing anyway. So, yeah. And that bit. Alright, zoom out. That. And that. And then that. And that. And then that one and that one, and then you reach Cockerhead. So that's all good. I don't believe there is a Cockerhead to Abingdon stopper. There is not. So that's what we're going to set up now. And it's going to run... Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to do that. I am going to take the Haltwhistle one. Because there is actually a service from Haltwhistle down to Abingdon. There it is. So I'm going to start that one now up here at Cockerhead. First electric train on the network. That is actually quite an exciting moment. You're going to stop at Stafford. Actually, are you going to stop at Stafford? No. You're not going to stop at Stafford. I'm actually going to skip Stafford and go straight to Haltwhistle. Remove that. So you're actually going to kind of run express for this first bit. Then you're going to stop at Knutsford. Then you're going to stop at Hale. Then Wisbech, then under to Woodstock, and then to Abingdon. Yes. And then on the way back, when you get to Knutsford, you are going to stop at Haltwhistle. Which, I need to check the tracks here actually. So you are platform 1, correct. You are platform 4, correct. And then from... here, you then run through Stafford and up to Cockerhead. Now, at Cockerhead, you are going to use platform... Actually, I could use platform 7. I'll need to electrify it. No, because you're for the branch, aren't you? Yeah, of course. Derp. So let's say 5 and 6 and maybe 4, just in case. Although nothing is using... Yeah, we'll just do 5 and 6. I'm going to stop messing around. Oh, and over at Abingdon, I've got to make sure that... where am I going? Abingdon. I've got to make sure that you're on the right side, and you're not. See, that's why we check these things. So we're going to use track 1 with 2 and 3, because they are the only ones electrified. So you are cock ahead to Abingdon. Okay, and then the final thing we need to do is actually get a stopping service out of Stroud that goes via Steyning and Alnwick. Now, where's that going to terminate? That's a good question, because right now... Yeah, that's a very good question. We could start it... See, no, Haltwhistle doesn't work. I was tempted to go all the way up to Southport, but that doesn't work either. Nor do I want to electrify that particular branch. We could go Towcester to Stroud. Nah, because there's too many trains using the cross-country line. This is where I wish that I'd made Haltwhistle wire full terminus in all directions. I guess what we're going to do then is Haltwhistle to Stroud. Or I should have made Abingdon a terminus. Or, you know, a bigger station with a ability to turn back trains. I was tempted here to build a loop round and connect that up and then go Abingdon down to Stroud. Yeah. While I'm thinking, let me get some electric trains out on this first line. And we'll go from there. Now, have I electrified the actual depot? No, is the answer to that question. So I'm actually going to have to sell these so that I can do that. Alright, buildings. This. Yes. To overhead. And we'll go with the disused tracks, wherever they've gone. There. Spin you round. Whichever way you go. Is it that way? Yeah. Okay, now you're connected. All the wires and everything. Good stuff. So, let's have a look at what we've got here. Electric. There we are. So let's start with powered EMU front. And then so I don't want a baggage van. Why is it baggage van? I guess it's just this. So we'll go with a rear one. And then another front one. And then another rear one. What's the capacity? 96? 12 million per vehicle. My days. That's a lot of money. 49 million for what I want here. Which we are making money. So it's not the end of the world. There we go. And then you can go on. Cock ahead to Abingdon. Right. Path has been found but not electrified. That's a problem because I don't know which parts aren't electrified. Everything here is blue. Everything here appears to be blue. Oh. I think it's that bit. And I've got no money now. Come on, game. Just need a delivery. I think it is literally this bit here that just needs to be blue. There we go. Okay, are you going to work now? Please? Phew. Okay. Could not connect all alternative termini. Which ones? between Haltwhistle and Cockerhead. Okay. Why is that then? Because you're supposed to be using the slow lines. Let's get out my trusty tool again. I'm going to close this just to make sure that everything here is okay. I'm not seeing any red there. So it is definitely between Haltwhistle and Cockerhead. This is all blue. I'm wondering if it's because it's trying to use the middle tracks, which it can't do. From Haltwhistle, you still have to use the slow lines, I'm afraid. I'm not seeing any issues here. So unless it's these bits. Nope. Ah, is it this bit? Nope. In fact, this bit shouldn't be electrified anyway. Oh, no, I have fixed it. Maybe it was that bit then. I have no idea when that disappeared. Cockerhead to Abingdon, 11 minutes. That's all good. I'll set up the timetable quickly. And then I'll very, very quickly come up with an idea for what to do with the line out of Stroud. And then we're going to have to wrap things up. Oops. Oh. Yeah, this... I don't like the bugs with the timetable mod. It's a great mod, don't get me wrong. But when it doesn't work, it's very annoying. Or it's not even that it doesn't work. It just does weird little glitchy things like that. Which I'm not a fan of. Any electric trains actually left yet? Nope, you're waiting here. Freight train's in the way, that's why. Okie dokie. I'm not too upset about that. We're going to let that tick away then and make us some money. I guess the last thing, yeah, Stroud. Where does the Stroud line go? Could we terminate at Wisbech? I don't think we have any crossovers, do we? No. I'm starting to think it is going to have to be Haltwhistle. Just to check. Nailsworth doesn't have... No. Maybe it should. Maybe I should have built one. Stafford doesn't have the ability to turn trains either. Nope. Yeah, okay. I think it's going to have to be Haltwhistle. I will do the line out of Stroud, though, so we can extend it if necessary. Where is Stroud? Here's Stroud. Nope, here's Stroud. So, yeah, at Stroud, we're going to start on tracks 5 and 6. Like so. We are then going to come out to Steyning. Not sure why you're on that platform. That's not the right platform at all. Then up to Alnwick. Where, yep, you're on the right track there. Then down to, that is the next one, isn't it? Abingdon. Yep. Then down to Abingdon. Then to Woodstock. Something else I've done here at Woodstock actually is I've built crossovers between the slow and the fast lines, but only from the fast to the slow. That is for trains that will terminate at Abingdon, but I don't think it's actually going to get used now. So that seems like a bit of a waste of time, really, doesn't it? Oh well. Wisbech, Hale, Knutsford, and then up to Haltwhistle, where we're going to use platform 1, but have 4 as backup. And then back to Knutsford, Hale, Wisbech, and Woodstock, where again I think it's using the correct. Yep, good. Then over to Abingdon, up to Alnwick, and then across to Steyning. Cool. We're going to be on the outside lines. Yep, good stuff. Alrighty. We'll get this going as well then. And then that will wrap us up for not just this episode, but I believe the month as well. So you are Pax, Stroud to Haltwhistle. Excellent. Let's see what we can afford. I think it's the first... Is this the first train we're going to have coming out of here? I'm not sure if it is, actually, now I've said that out loud. I'm not sure if it is. I'm also not sure. Yeah, I think it does work. I was about to say I'm not sure if I can actually get anything out of here. But I'm pretty certain I can. Should we get a mogul on this service? These are goods ones, right? Yeah. We don't need a star for this. Could get a prairie, maybe. Branch lines or suburban services. Maybe we'll get a prairie. I like a prairie. We'll get a forward running prairie. And then for this, we want, I guess, this type of carriage. Push-pull. That's annoying, actually, because we're not doing push-pull on this one. Oh, there's the EMU trailers. I'm an idiot. Oh, well. We'll get some of these. How big do we want this? I think, actually, 66 capacity. I'm just going to get 2 of you for now. Stroud to Haltwhistle. And I'll see what the frequency is. 31 minutes. Obviously that needs to be reduced. I'm also going to have you run around train. And just for now, I'm going to have you both flip. So that you reverse into Stroud and pull forward out of Stroud. Yep, okie dokie. And then timetable, we'll get that done quickly as well. Pax. Stroud to Haltwhistle. Unbunch. 10 minutes. And then up at Haltwhistle. Unbunch. 10 minutes. Actually, I'm tempted to not do it at Haltwhistle. I'm tempted to do that down at like Woodstock or something. But, oh well, I've done it now. Can I afford a third one of you? Not yet. I'm just going to pin this and keep an eye on it. Same with the electric one. Actually, with the electric train, I'm tempted to go over and remove 2 of the... I guess they're technically locos. And replace them with... Let me just grab these again. So, what I want here is multiple units. And then I want... I've done this in this style, but I'm actually really tempted to make them red or something. Just to make them stand out. You know? Because these are Premier trains now. So it makes sense to kind of highlight that fact. Where's the red? There's the red. Unpowered EMU. Oh, that's an end trailer. Yeah, I don't want an end trailer. I guess we just want third class. Like that. And then another one of those. And then, actually, I guess here... Hang on, sorry, I'm all over the place now. I guess here we can just go with an unpowered rear, right? Remove that. Stick that on. That works. We actually save a bit of money. Boom. And then you are going to be push-pull. And I'm going to grab you as well and have you as a pinned vehicle too. Okay, I need to stop now, guys. I need to stop. I've done way too much. This video is like an hour and a half long. unless I trim some bits out. The cool thing is we have a massive major mainline extension, which is the exact point of today's video. And next time out, we're going to start utilizing some of these freight lines that I've put in. I think one other thing I forgot to mention was around here-ish, I'm going to put a triangular junction in. Bit of a tight squeeze, but it will fit. And then that's going to bring the tracks over here to Steyning So from Stroud, they'd come out, follow the river, up and over the river, up into the hill, and then around, and then in through to Steyning. But it also means the main line through Alnwick is also connected up. And then we can go down to maybe a terminal here that connects Shoreham and Uxbridge. And if we can, which we can't, so I think it'll be this way, we'd then come down to Castleford and beyond. Yeah, and we might even do that with the passenger line as well. I think I've said that already too. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And, of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. It's very much appreciated. If you... Oh, hype the video as well. If you hit the like button and the hype option comes up, please do press it. It's very much appreciated. It helps me out a lot. Oh, that was flying squeal and a half, wasn't it? If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your month, and until next time, I will see you soon.